niggas chasing that dough. My young nigga hopping out, open that door. Anytime, any day, it don't matter, you go. Nigga, money more important than saving a hoe. Nigga, money more important, can't never go broke. I've been watching them snakes, I've been playing them close. OG like stay out the way and go. But I'm hitting that road, trying to get me a low.
I'm like, man, this shit be irritating. Niggas be hating. Niggas wanna be in my shoes. Niggas be doing this and that and the third. I don't even care about this shit. This shit came to me. Just let it be.
I think it's time for me to just pick a movie. We just gonna break that shit down to its core. I'm thinking Blindside. Since Michael Oher was talking about those white people weren't even his adopted parents. They realized just made that Disney storyline up for the ticket sales.
Who is that, SJ?
Big Mike. He goes to high school here.
What is he wearing? It's below freezing.
Do you have any place to stay tonight? Don't you dare lie to me.
Was this a bad idea?
What's the big deal? It's just for one night. It is just for one night, right, Leanne?
Don't you dare lie to me.
Do you know how fucked up that is if they made up that storyline? Because even as I'm watching this scene, she don't look like the type of woman that would pull over for this dude on the side of the road. Am I lying in saying that fucking Sandra Bullock doesn't look like the type of person?
Don't you dare lie to me.
Is this another one of your charities?
What did she say?
Is this another one of your charities?
He's been enrolled in 7 different institutions. His grade point average begins with 0.
He needs to do better in school. I'd love to work with him.
This is mine?
Yes, sir.
Never had one before.
What, a room to yourself?
A bed.
That was a mic drop back in 2008. The Blindside, high-key a core memory movie. I remember watching that shit in theaters.
Take the time to break down why it is that he hated his own movie. Well, today it dropped that Michael Oher is suing the family that adopted him, but why? Because they never actually adopted him. Sean and Leanne Tui reached the whole heartbeat of the story. The only reason there was a story was due to the belief that they'd adopted this homeless kid, brought him into their home, and if you believe the movie, which you shouldn't, taught him everything including how to play football. Michael Oher never needed to be tutored on the bare basics of offensive line play like they did in this scene.
In the movie The Blindside, they made Michael Oher seem like he didn't have no lick of knowledge of anything. Nah, they made him like dumb. They made him like super dumb.
Play left tackle for most of
and it's all a lie. Imagine you sitting there watching your own movie. They're narrating you to be slow as shit, and you're just sitting there taking that shit to the theater. This movie making millions of dollars off the narrative that you're like a slow individual.
His grade point average begins with 0.
He needs to do better in school.
He will on his way to becoming
why did they do that? Why did they do that?
Player when he met the Tui family.
No, that's wild.
He actually had been studying to play left tackle for most of his life up to that point. He wasn't even homeless at the point when they stepped in.
Don't you dare lie to me.
Is this another one of your charities?
You're changing that boy's life. No, he's changing mine.
That's foul though. Bruh, nah, that's beyond foul. Cause they wrote you shitty in the film. The film is about you. They wrote you shitty in the film and then didn't break anything off of you. That's wild. Like, you can't even make the movie without him. The movie don't even exist without him. You just gonna... Bruh, that's wild. That's wild.
Later, they're still calling Mike their adopted son.
You're not going to leave your son high and dry on a $300 million deal.
Had to promote foundation.
Nah, they real life used the fuck out of him.
The lie of Michael's adoption is one upon which co-conservators Leanne Tui and Sean Tui have.
Bro, that's too much reading.
They told him they loved him and he was a part of the family, and this paper here would just make it official. They made him believe it was the same as an adoption, and at the time, he had no reason to question it. Again, bro, this was 3 months after he turned 18. He was a senior in high school when all this took place. So in his young mind, he's thinking he can trust these people. He's thinking they really care about him because that's what they made him believe. They split the money made off his name between Sean and Leanne Tui, and they were sure to cut in their 2 birth kids while not cutting Mike in on the deal at all. To just cut him out the royalties is a different level of disgusting. How you cut him out the check that's based on his own story? How you justify that? Look how they portrayed him in the movie. He was shown as a dumb kid who had nothing until they came on the scene. Opinion, that's how
Mike wild. They backdoored the shit out of him. They backdoored the shit out of him.
How the depiction was BS and how it really kind of embarrassed him. He says it changed.
Bruh, nah, I'm squabbling somebody over that shit.
He says it changed the way people looked at him and it changed the way people treated him, and it tainted his entire career that he spent in the NFL. But for a while, he was willing to go along with the lie. He said he hated how he was portrayed, but the movie did have a good message.
I heard you got you a new mama now. She fine too.
Michael was here.
Tell him to sleep with one eye open.
You threatened my son. You threatened me.
Sandra Bullock.
So in the interest of those people who took something positive from the movie, he didn't want to come out and taint it, so he just tried to live with it. Before the Towies ever showed up, man, dude lived in foster care in the back of a car under a bridge. Bro, his mom was addicted to drugs. He had to sit and watch his siblings be snatched out of their home by child services, and due to his size, drug dealers wanted to recruit him as their muscle. The movie doesn't show the fact that he goes through all of that, but still has the resolve to stay focused. And it was so unnecessary because you could have showed both sides. You could have showed Mike's resolve and how he fought to get to that point, and then how the Towies later came in and provided some help. And they did provide some help. I ain't trying to take that from him. It cuts out his contribution to his own story. And then the Towies come in with the cape on and he rides off into the sunset. I'm confronted with the thought that the Towies themselves, like, this is how they saw him. They made the Towie family the stars of Mike's story. And the world's messed up, so maybe that change actually helped it sell better. But do it matter if you took all the royalties behind his back?
Holding inside here between the tits. You got it? Will you look at me, son? Grab him outside here like this, or with that horse collar thing you just did. You're gonna get flagged and I'm gonna be pissed.
Baby, wash my stuff, all right?
They'll be terrified till they realize he's a marshmallow. Looks like Tarzan plays like Jane.
What do you mean by that?
This team is your family, Michael. You have to protect them from those guys. You protect his blind side. When you look at him, you think of me.
If you don't get out of my face, bitch.
Are you going to protect the family, Michael?
Yes, ma'am.
Good boy.
What do you mean by that?
And so, once again, the day is saved.
You threatened my son. You threatened me.
Sandra Bullock.
We're in the middle of practice, Leanne.
Nah, with all the context added in, this movie corny as shit. Nah, the people that made this movie need to pay for this ass.
We in the field like a football team, like it's good iron game, we banging 88. I got the boot if you try and get your roll on. Come down this rip, you better bring your skates. My new bitch gave me the keys to replace. She eat up the dick, I might feed her a steak. The Drake like a zombie might eat up his face. Yo, the yo keep on weeping, keep eating the J.